Yeah, man. So I think this episode is going to be, well, it is going to be a little bit different than the other ones that we had, mainly because we have the person that's behind the camera, in front of the camera.
Yep.
It's going to be not an interview, more of a conversation and talking about like what we want to do with Roll Science, you know, how we got into this. And we're going to talk about like a recap of all the episodes, which is something that we wanted to do for a while.
Oh, yeah.
We said that we wanted to do it like at 20 episodes. And we kept recording until we hit we just kept going.
We've gotten there. Well, where are we? 21, 22?
23, I think, is the next one. This one would be 23.
Wow.
23. Yeah, but I wanted to do it in 20. I don't know why. That number was like, that's the one we got to do
That's a number. I don't know. I think we read in a statistic somewhere that said that
we
not
we
a
read
lot
a
of people.
statistic, or you read a
I
statistic?
think my brother shared this with me. And it's like, hey, man, if you get to 20 episodes, you should throw a party because many people who start podcasts don't even get to 10.
Dude, it's a lot harder than people think.
Oh, yeah.
It's not as easy. And luckily, you know how to use all this shit because I wouldn't be able to do it. The way that I was thinking about doing it beforehand was crazy. And you're like, no. You can't do it that way. That's not the way it works. Luckily, you had experience with Mango Stain.
Oh, yeah. And it's been a great opportunity to revive that project.
Yeah. How did you start it? I didn't even know that. Like, how did you start the Mango Stain stuff?
So people are a little bit aware. Mango Stain started very organically around 2017 in Puerto Rico, and it recorded local surfers, local talent, local artists. We got our first opportunity with a small t-shirt company called Positive Musa. Shout out to Fabian Enrique, great guy, and he's grown so much. I mean, after Hurricane Maria, the project kind of stopped, and then I moved to Colorado.
Yeah.
And, you know, coming back to the island like 5 years later, the guys went in one of the biggest malls in the entire Caribbean. Plaza Las Americas.
I got Spanish there hard.
So, yeah, and San Patricio, like the guys everywhere. So shout out to him. And the project started with him. And
he started Mango Stain? You started?
No, I started Mango Stain with a good friend of mine who actually made the intro art, which is Manuel Andres Pluto. Shout out to him as well. He made the calligraphy for Mango Stain, and then I made the logo. He's always liked drawing and animation and all that kind of stuff. And then I had a passion for graphic arts, having studied architecture and all that kind of stuff. So it really came out organically that way. And then as a drone pilot, we started getting gigs with Bad Bunny and John Zeta and all these Puerto Rican rappers that many people probably won't know or might know.
Yeah, I think
they've gotten
Bad
pretty
Bunny,
recognized internationally.
Right.
So we worked with them when they were pretty much nobody, and now they're the ones looking down.
Right.
But it was a great opportunity that way. And then, like I said, Hurricane Maria kind of blew away the project, and
pun intended.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
And then Roll Science kind of came to the rescue, and it's been a pretty cool ride.
Yeah, man, it's been fun because and the funny thing is that you started with surfing, and surfing has that kind of that linkage in jiu-jitsu. The culture is very similar. Like a lot of people do jiu-jitsu, they surf, and a lot of people that surf do jiu-jitsu. So it's kind of like they go hand in hand with one another.
I've heard that. I've heard they're both very individual sports.
I mean, Jose surfs, and a lot of people that you probably met have done jiu-jitsu, they surf too. You probably just haven't asked them.
Yeah, and in Puerto Rico too. I mean, there's been like an epidemic of jiu-jitsu schools that have been on the west side, and surfing in Puerto Rico was pretty much born on the west side.
That's true. Yeah. That's true about the jiu-jitsu. The jiu-jitsu was like, well, at least when we were there, which was when we both were living there, because you lived there until 2020.
Yeah.
2020. When I lived over there in 2000, from 2000 up to 2007, I think it was the last year I was there was no jiu-jitsu. But the schools that were there were all the way in the West Coast.
Yeah.
And they were small schools.
So you moved out at 10th grade, so probably like 2007.
Yeah.
And you got really hyped with jiu-jitsu after having practiced judo when you were a little bit more little than that.
Because there was literally no jiu-jitsu there.
There was no jiu-jitsu in Puerto Rico. So then you started hyping us, the two other best friends of the clan, Joel and Guilla. You started hyping us to do jiu-jitsu in the island. So the only outlet that I can find at that time was an LA boxing that opened really close to my house that offered Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but
you know how they do it in the
guy
island,
wasn't
bro.
even Brazilian. He wasn't part of like the Gracie school of
No, it
jiu-jitsu
was
or
just like
anything.
stuff that they read offline and
Oh, yeah.
videos that they saw, and that's what they were teaching.
So
But there's a lot of people doing that back then.
that was our only outlet. At
Yeah.
that time, YouTube was barely starting, but
Yeah.
the Gracie family had some instructionals that we were able to see. And then I forget his name, but we've talked about this. Then I found another school in the metropolitan
Carlos
area,
Reyes.
Carlos Reyes. So me, Joel, and Guille started training with Carlos a good while. And it lasted until it didn't, you know. I mean, the surfing bug bit me. I had a car, so I could travel to anywhere in the island. I mean, the island's 100 miles by 35 miles, so
Yeah.
it was pretty easy to get around. And surfing can really hook you up, especially when you got south, east, west, north of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
island.
We got waves everywhere.
So yeah, so close to you. So if there's not waves on one part of the island, there's probably waves on the other part.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. But you know that there was the reason that jiu-jitsu, well, at least in my expectation, it blew up so much on the island was because this team, like John Donaher, moved down there during COVID, and he's like was at the time, well, still is considered one of the best coaches in jiu-jitsu, right? And since they could train in jiu-jitsu, they went over there and started training at an academy, and it blew up over there.
Yeah,
like it was growing already, but now there's like an exponential growth over there.
Oh yeah. It's definitely grown. I mean, Puerto Rico, as I'm probably going to mention 100 times in this podcast, it's a very small island. So people are aware that we do this podcast, and that's how very organically we got with Cobriña's school over there at the west side, which we're going to be interviewing pretty soon. Next week, exactly. So, you know, there are a couple folks over there, and I'm pretty sure surfing has a lot to do with people just getting situated over at the west side. It's just the quality of the waves are world class over there.
Yeah, and there's like the people that started were surfers too. Like the Gracies didn't start jiu-jitsu, but they brought it to like the mainstream. They started Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Gracie jiu-jitsu, yeah. But jiu-jitsu started from the Japanese, all that stuff, good. But then they went up to Brazil, blah blah blah, and in Brazil they're surfing too. And one of the top, I guess, pioneers in jiu-jitsu was Rickson Gracie, and he was huge on surfing. Huge. And he likes surfing all the time. He's always talking about surfing and all that stuff. So it's always been like kind of like a mix of the two things. And it's interesting because they're very different in what the action is, but there's something that's so similar with the both sports. I don't know what it is because I don't surf, but there's something very similar about the two of them.
Same here. It's like yin and yang. I don't know what it is because I don't really practice jiu-jitsu, but I've heard it a lot. I listen to Jocko's podcast a lot, and he's one of those people who would.
Yeah.
He's answered that question. I just can't really remember.
No, I don't. I don't expect you to remember.
He's answered, and it's something that's asked a lot. And I mean, from a surfer's perspective, it's a very individual sport.
Yeah.
You learn as you go. You continue learning throughout your life. You continue getting better. Being good physically, being healthy, exercising has a lot to do, like in any sport. I mean, it'll up your performance.
Right.
And the only thing maybe I don't think can correlate is weather conditions. I mean, you need the perfect weather conditions to surf. You can find a gym and do jiu-jitsu whenever you want. So
you can do it at your house.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty cool. So if the bug bit you in jiu-jitsu, you can just go out and do it.
Yeah.
Versus surfing, if the bug bites you, you gotta be like me and book a fucking trip to Nicaragua next week.
Yeah, especially here in Florida, man. Like Florida is there are ways in Florida, even no matter, but there are ways in Florida, but there's no surfing South Florida.
Yeah,
it has to be something coming in.
The Bahamas fuck us over.
Is it because of Bahamas?
Yeah, they block all that swell coming from the east. So yeah, those fuckers.
Sons of bitches.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I know you have to go north for it, but it's really just it sucks because growing up in Puerto Rico, I was getting into surfing, and I was getting to the point that I was starting to not get good at it, but like understand it a little bit.
Of course,
kind of pick it up.
Yeah.
And then I moved, and there was no way I could do it here. Even if let's say there's even waves in Miami. Let's say, bro, the drive to go to Miami Beach is 45 minutes at least.
45 minutes plus add an extra 45 minutes finding parking, plus add an extra 45 minutes finding a wave with the thousands of people trying to
Right.
hit that break that only breaks once or twice in a year.
Yeah, yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
No, it really does. Like the times that I've been able to surf down here, I got to make a whole day out of it.
Mhm.
I either book a hotel, stay with the family, the wife and the little one, and surf the next morning, or head with Jose like at 5 in the morning. Not even out,
Yeah,
and we're coming back, and the sun's going down. So like
bro. That's a
it's
whole
like
day in the
yeah,
water. That's
it's a whole
tiring.
day in the water. Yeah,
That's tiring.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I guess that like it's I don't think anybody that's been on the podcast at least has been a surfer and a jiu-jitsu guy. I think it's only been Jose.
It's only been Jose. It's
Yeah.
only been Jose. That was a great podcast, man.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good.
It was good. But you know what the problem with those initial episodes is that I was extremely nervous with them.
Yeah, and there's
And
also
I
a
couldn't like
factor like I'm always like striving for perfection, and
yeah,
we didn't have the correct equipment by that
right.
time. you know Shout out to the folks of Fighters Delight.
Oh yeah,
Papi
still
de
got
Leon, 100%.
Andres, yeah.
Andres, that guy hooked us up with some lighting. We've received our fair share of donations from time to time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's paying back. Because we're kind of like being an outlet for a lot of these
Yeah,
athletes,
creating like a
and
platform.
we're creating a platform for them, and it's nice to see them express themselves, and also it's nice to for us in the background to see the organic growth.
Right.
I feel like our strategic plan between Manga Stain and Roll Science
Right.
strives on that. We're not trying to pay our way to success. We're not trying to pay for followers
No, no,
on
no, no.
Instagram or stuff like that. But you bring an athlete, and that athlete has their own following. So they're like, "Oh, you're doing a podcast. Oh,
Yeah.
you're doing it with Roll Science. Who are they?" They start listening to the podcast, following the platform.
Right.
So it's a pretty organic growth, natural growth that's going on, and it's been nice to see it
Well, that was
over the
always the plan when
months.
we started doing like when we decided to do this and we were planning for a while to do Roll Science and do the podcast. What we originally wanted was a platform that we could get other people's perspective of the sport and of the art and kind of just get an understanding of how other people think. And the selfish reason it was like I get to talk to other people about jiu-jitsu and kind of see what their point of view, and that's been great. And I think other people hearing that conversation is great as well. You know what I mean? To get other people's point of view of how you should train these other martial artists and how they view the sport.
I think it's amazing. I think it's kind of like an open mat, but for conversation. I
Right.
mean, we get different gyms in here, and we talk about different perspectives.
Right.
And I've I don't know bull crap about
No, now
jujitsu,
you got a
but
black belt
now I have
with
a black belt knowledge about how even different gyms
yeah, how they work.
practice it, how they work. So it's been a nice thing to get all these gyms together, and we're always striving to get more.
Yeah, yeah.
So I urge you guys, if you guys know a gym, like Cobrinha was a perfect example. It was a friend's
Yeah,
recommendation, a
the
friend
the
of a
academy in Puerto
friend.
Rico, Codina.
Yeah, the academy in Puerto Rico. So that was a very organic thing, and it's by word of mouth. So I mean, if you know people and they want to be in the podcast and they
Yeah,
kind of want to share their story, we urge you guys. It's like go for it.
no, yeah, 100%. I'm willing to sit down and talk to anybody that's really dedicated their life to jiu-jitsu and try to understand their perspective and kind of allow them to share their conversations with other people. And sometimes people, and it happens like, oh, I don't want to ask, and it's like, go ahead and ask, bro. Like,
Yeah,
go ahead and ask. The reality, the probability of me saying yes is probably really high. If you have an academy or you're really dedicated your life to this, I'm probably gonna say yes because it's like an open door policy. Like if you're gonna come talk to me about jujitsu, go ahead, go ahead. It's yours. It's your episode. I try to tell everybody that's their episode. I'm just trying to like guide you towards whatever it is that you want to share.
100%. Yeah,
Sometimes it doesn't even have to be about jujitsu. Like we've had conversations, which obviously I want to talk about jujitsu, but we've had conversations, great conversations with people that don't even cover jujitsu. You know what I mean? Like Drew, we barely touched about jujitsu. That was a
yeah.
great fucking
That was
conversation.
a great fucking conversation. It gets refreshing from time to time when we deviate. I mean, yeah, we're here to share your story, and if you have something to say about jujitsu that you feel it's important for the world, then go ahead by all means and say
Right.
it. But if the conversation goes another way, then
Yeah, you stray from it, you stray from it.
yeah,
And I think that's what we're gonna try to do now is like I at the beginning when we started this whole thing, I was always like, okay, so these are the kind of like the guiding questions or whatever, but it was more of these are the guiding questions that I'm going to use like with everybody, and I don't think you can do that with everybody. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, no, I definitely do, and
But
let's
some
see.
people it comes into like come into play when the conversation is like kind of like um it becomes stale because you already blew your load in the first fucking 5 minutes. And
Exactly.
you already guys went all the laughs, everything went out in the first 5 minutes, and then you have to kind of go back to those questions.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen it go stale. You've done a great job, just
Tried.
following up on that, and asking questions. There's
Honestly, it's been easy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We've gotten really lucky because everybody that's come on has it's never been really a stale conversation.
I haven't noticed a stale conversation over here.
Everybody's been really easy to talk to, and it's been great, man. We've gotten
It's been
lucky.
good. It's been good. I'm excited for the open mat sessions.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think
That's good.
Steven's been doing a great job, and Steven yourself have been doing
Dude,
a great
Steven
job on that.
Steven has a recall. Like he can recall
Like a vehicle?
no, like
What do you need fixed, Steven?
no, you dickhead. I mean, recall like he's able to recall shit like in his memory. So that I was like, it was amazing. It was great. Like I couldn't. There's things that he that I was saying that was like disparate. That were like, that was,
Yeah.
I don't remember what I said. But I was like, this, I'm like, and then he's like, no, you mean this? And I'm like, oh yeah, I mean that. It's a completely different person.
Definitely. I mean,
Yeah, we're gonna try to do that like once a month.
I tend to get lost in those, especially because I don't really know the fighters and all that kind of stuff.
You're behind the screen just looking on.
Yeah, picking my nose.
Yeah,
like,
fuck
this. Sounds cool.
Yeah. Who's that guy? What are you talking about?
And the thing is, like, we're trying to integrate myself a little bit more into podcasts.
Yeah,
and it's
dude.
like, hey, Keith, research this, research God knows who, and I'm like, okay,
How do you spell that?
How do you spell that last name? Just, that has to be Brazilian.
Like I don't know how to spell this.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get it. That's easy.
No, for sure.
Especially for those open mat sessions, we're gonna need somebody on the computer.
Yeah, for sure. No, and I like the concept of covering events.
Yeah, I think it's better.
We don't always get people that are willing to, hey, I want to be on the podcast. We're getting more right now. We have a backlog of a bunch of people. It's getting to be more and more,
which is good.
It's amazing, but it's also cool to cover events because we offer a subjective point of view. It's if we cover events before, I feel it's more subjective. If we cover them after, I feel it's more objective on, hey, how did this guy fight?
Dude, and honestly, it's easier. It's way easier on me to cover the events afterwards than having to recall people in certain matches and kind of like link them up, because we were trying to link those up as analyze, like pre-analyze the matches, and I have to recall. I have to recall my Toyota. No, I have to recall like how they did against this guy, and I don't have the capability to memorize all that stuff. Like I can watch a match and kind of like break it down, but like I can't do the recalling from back. So that's what we're gonna do with Steven.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great plan, but I see a lot of future in the open mat sessions.
Yeah, man. And I want to have people on that one too. Like I want to have Steven there like fixed. And whenever he can come in and do it is what we're gonna do. We're trying to do it once a month, but we have to like coordinate it. And he's okay with it. But I want to try to get maybe one more person or somebody else once in a while. You know what I mean? Not like 3 people talk. I think 3 people is too much. Like you have, if you have 2, like we've had two podcasts with 3 people, and luckily they've worked out great.
Yeah.
But the 2 guests have discipline. They've both been really disciplined. The 2 pairs have been very disciplined when they speak.
Yeah.
I don't think I can happen all the time, bro.
No. But they sit it well. I mean, and they've been from different gyms too.
Yeah. There was 2 from Wagner Rocha, which was Jose and Chase.
That was a great episode.
Yeah, that was.
It went for so long we had to split that in 2 episodes.
Yeah, man. We had to split it in 2. That was a good one.
That was a great one.
They know so much shit.
Oh yeah.
That it was like you had to like really listen and let them break it down, because that episode was a lot of interesting shit.
Yeah, no. That the concepts explained there, they were really interesting.
I kind of want to bring them back individually so they can speak on like different aspects and kind of really just drill into what their point of what they were doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it was a little bit separated between the 2. I think
they're doing it together.
They were doing it together, but I think one of them focused more on performance and strength and conditioning.
Well, they're doing that. They're doing a program. I don't want to call it a program, but they're doing kind of like a project together. and they're doing a holistic approach to training athletes. And one has a strength and conditioning focus, the other one has more of a education, psychological understanding of how to train athletes.
That is awesome.
So like it's for them, it's like it's good that they bring them together because they're able to explain the project that's what they did. That's what took 2 hours. They went in real details with it. But I kind of want to get them individually so that we can talk about other topics within that realm
Yeah.
because it's interesting to me. You know what I mean?
Or the same topics in depth. I mean,
Right. That's what I mean. That's what I
let's
mean.
talk about the strength and conditioning right now.
Right.
Then let's talk about the holistic approach in another one. I think
Yeah,
that would be a
dude.
great idea.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him about. I talked to him briefly about it, but I haven't set like a date or when they could do it because I know that Chase is really busy. He's getting his PhD now,
Yeah.
and so is also just extremely busy. He
The
works for the
ground
Department of
game,
Defense,
the ground game folks were amazing,
which are
man.
coming on too.
I wish we had them with the technology that we have right now.
Yeah,
Like
we're gonna have him
better
on soon.
mics, better cameras.
Yeah. We had those mics were crazy.
Yeah.
They were crazy. They picked up everything and they didn't filter anything out.
Yeah. And it's a shame because it was a great episode.
Yeah.
So.
And the funny thing is they're coming back on to talk about the ecological approach is what
Okay.
that's the approach that they're doing for ground game theory, which I think is great. And when they came on the first time, they came on to talk about like a completely different style of teaching. So they've revamped their entire way of teaching from the second episode, which is the one that we're on, to now that we're on 22. They've revamped and restructured the way that they teach their classes completely.
Wow.
And there's been a difference between the way that I've learned, which I learned a lot the first way because they taught great. They're great teachers, but this way I've learned like at least the impact that I've had with the ecological approach is that it's like it changes the way that I think when I roll, and it's great, man. It takes away barriers. It's they're gonna explain it. I'm not even close to understanding the approach as much as they are, which is why I want to have them on.
Yeah, I think
It's a hot topic too.
It's interesting, man. Like I said, I know bullcrap about jiu-jitsu, but it's the first time I hear about that approach. And
Dude, when they said ecological approach, I immediately thought
I thought they were training in the jungle.
I thought nature. No, what happened was I think it was Mauda that came up and said, "Oh, we're doing the ecological approach," and I'm like, "Is this motherfucker confusing the name of what we're doing here?" Like I didn't understand. And then Carmichael told it to me, and I was like, "Oh, this is the name of the approach. It's called ecological." But when they see ecological, I'm thinking like, "What the fuck is this? Like a forest? What the fuck are they talking about? Training like monkeys?" Dude, I felt like an idiot. But you live and you learn.
You live and you learn, but I think it's awesome, and it's going to be great to have a second person talk about that same approach.
Yeah.
It's going to be really good stuff.
I mean, I kind of want to know what was the point that they were like, "Oh, we got to switch shit up. We got to change shit up." I want to know what was the detail they were like, "Okay, we got to switch this," because it's a big decision to change. I want to know if it happened gradually or did it happen like in an instant. I want to know why it went from the way they were teaching to the other way to the ecological, because the way they were teaching before, there was drilling and there was situationals and stuff. And I think that drilling works as well. Like drilling is a great approach too. And I think that if you're doing drilling, it works as well. And I think that doing the situationals is great as well. They're all different kinds of learning. You know what I mean? And I kind of want to know what was that button that we were like, fucking.
Maybe it's the psychological approach. I mean, adding psychology to it, it's a complex topic. So
well, you've done you trained jiu-jitsu for a little bit. You remember the classes? Do you remember taking classes?
Yeah, I remember starting drilling and.
So you remember when they used to teach a technique and then you would have to do that technique?
Yeah.
Did you feel like afterwards you would remember it in a live roll?
The ones that I liked.
Yeah.
I remember the Mataleon. I don't know how you would say that.
Rear naked choke.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's so old school.
It is. I remember that one. And then I remember drilling at first. We broke falls a lot. So just jumping into the floor and breaking your fall.
Yeah.
That was really important. And I remember guard. And that's it.
Guard, I mean, that's good. That's good.
But that's it. It wasn't a huge thing back
then.
there.
Dude, the guard now, like there's so many different types of guards now that
I don't doubt it.
It's crazy. It's hard to keep up with. There's so many different types of guards now that it's insane.
I don't doubt it. I got to train with one of these guys.
You should, man. You got one right here.
Yeah, I got Mortalis really close.
You got it. Those guys are good, man.
No, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Mello, all the folks over there, they're
Yeah,
just
Steven's
great.
from there.
Yeah, Steven's from there,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, it's a great school, dude. Those guys really know what they're doing. DOP really has a DOP is a savage, bro. Like he looks calm and nice and chill, but that motherfucker doesn't play around when you roll. Like I rolled with him. I think I went like a couple weeks ago, and I'm gonna try to go like every week to Mortalis and start training with them too. And bro, I came in like a nice guy. He's smiling and everything, and all of a sudden I just got murked. I was like, "What the fuck happened?" No, it was crazy. It was a change of pace.
I think that's the awesome part about open mats and about cross training.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, that you're able to go to different places and gauge other people's styles or
yeah,
other people's, what they're training on that gym. And you don't get that unless you're competing, you
yeah.
know? I
Like you
mean,
don't get the you don't. You're saying like you don't get to see the other people. Like you don't get exposed to other styles and stuff.
exactly.
Yeah,
And I feel that when you're competing, it's like, well, you might have rolled with the guy you're competing against. You might have not. Maybe he's from another state
yeah,
or another place or another country,
yeah,
so I don't know. The element of surprise that you get from an open mat,
yeah,
going to a gym that you don't train in and training with people that you usually rolling with people that you usually don't roll,
yeah.
from a perspective of someone who knows bull crap about jujitsu,
Oh,
I think that's a great learning curve. It's
yeah.
like you
Wouldn't it be
tossing me in a beach
right?
that I don't know. I don't know how the currents play.
What's gonna happen now
I
when,
don't
when you
know
gotta
what
go?
type of waves. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's exactly what's going to happen now. So I'm going to be a solid 10 minutes, maybe 5 seconds out of the beach, gauging the waters and
just looking at it.
and just going in.
Yeah, but
But
if
I mean, it's
once you do it, you're gonna be a better surfer. It's
a
kind of the same
hundred
concept.
percent, 100%. And there are beaches that I've been looking at since I was little in videos
Yeah,
and in movies and in surf clips,
right.
but it's a whole different story being there. So I assume it should be the same thing. It's like, oh, I'm going against this guy, and I've seen him roll in different videos of different tournaments, so I've studied his technique.
Right.
But like Puerto Ricans or Latin say, del dicho al hecho hay un largo trecho. I mean,
Yeah.
seeing him roll and seeing his technique versus being in the roll with him should
Right.
be something really different. So,
No, of course it is. Of course it is. You think you're gonna respond in a certain way, and you don't. Like it's just like, and there's also like, I mean, I'm sure it happens too, but there's sometimes you have good days and sometimes you have bad days, bro.
oh yeah,
Like it's and you could be thinking that you could feel great right before the class, but then you just have like a bad day of training, and it happens, you know.
very relatable to surfing as well, by the
Yeah.
way. Like sometimes you have good days and you're just having fun out there, and sometimes waves are fucking crashing in your head and you're falling on your ass every time you stand up in a wave. So
Yeah.
it is what it is, man. That's why
And then
keeping on top of your health
and that's
and
important, especially when we get older
exercising.
now,
Oh
bro.
yeah, man. 100%. Yeah. That's something that I feel like I learned very late in my life. Like,
Yeah.
hey, eat better, stop eating bullshit.
Yeah, but you
Domino's
did.
might be great, but get it out of your life. Although I might have had it last week.
Yeah, I mean, we don't talk about the unmentionables. Yeah, but I mean, doing it late in life is still doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
like it
No,
doesn't matter.
it's really important, honestly. And I guess it hits you when you have a family and you want to last
Right.
them the most that you can.
Yeah. And be physically present there.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just because you want to go surfing or whatever the case may be, but to be able physically present and do the activities that your kids want to do. That's one of the most important parts is staying healthy and doing what you need, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to do it. There's
Yeah.
no other way.
No, for sure, man. For sure.
There's no other way, man. There's no other way.
But
That's
yeah,
good. You lost like what 60 pounds?
yeah, something like that, man. I reached 245.
When did you start losing weight?
So I started losing weight around 3 months ago.
Shit.
Three, maybe 4.
Right.
Yeah, I started doing a system. It's called Unicity. Great system because it's you get teas in the mornings
Right.
from a herb from Argentina. It's called mate.
Yeah.
So it's a concentrated solution of that
That's like
herb.
coffee.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty much it has caffeine. They call it matane, but
Uh,
it does the same effect, but for a more prolonged time.
yeah.
And it makes you feel more satiated.
Yeah.
It produces a hormone in your body called GLP-1,
Uh,
which is a hormone that's in charge of you feeling more satiated for a longer time.
that's good.
So, and a lot of things produce that naturally. Kombucha produces GLP-1. bananas produce GLP-1, like a lot of things naturally
Yeah.
produce that hormone, and you feel more fuller when you eat them.
Right.
And then they sell them like in little packets, and then the other one is fiber. So
Oh,
I've learned that
you've been shitting.
dude, yes, yes. But no, I've learned that you eat fiber before your meals and you're gonna feel fuller for longer too.
Yeah.
So that and intermittent fasting have been the foundations for me to not only lose weight but to feel better. Like
Yeah,
no more
dude.
brain fog. I mean, I've been able. Last time I surfed, I felt great.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
felt great. I felt agile.
Just on
Sure
the day to
things.
day, dude. On the day to day, you feel it.
Oh yeah,
When you eat better, you feel like a lot better.
yeah,
It feels better. Like if you eat shit the day before, the next day you feel like shit.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, and it's the shit that they're selling out there that gives you that brain fog, and you're gonna realize that when you don't have that brain fog, you're able to do more on a day.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're able to do more
yeah.
tasks. You're able to prioritize and execute. So,
Now you can do
it,
jiu-jitsu. You
oh
lost weight.
yeah,
So
yeah.
now that I have you on camera,
I'm gonna visit the Mortalis folks.
and we're trying to get
I
a
didn't want a
commitment.
twisted ankle before
Nah,
my
you
trip to
won't.
Nicaragua.
You won't, dude. You're not gonna get injured. You're gonna be fine. I mean, you just gotta know who to go with, and everybody over there is super chill. You're gonna be fine.
I don't want to be that spassy white belt.
You're gonna be that spazzy white belt, but
I'm
that's
probably
okay.
gonna be that spassy
That's
white
everybody's
belt.
a spazzy white belt.
There you go.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You'll learn. It doesn't matter. You just go. Just go. Just show up.
I'm excited for it. I'm
You should,
excited to
man.
see all the faces that I've seen back of the scenes here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna enjoy, and then you're gonna knowing you're gonna get the bug, and you're gonna start going to the open mats and all that stuff.
That's so. When I practiced jiu-jitsu in Puerto Rico, the bug hit me hard.
Yeah.
Like I probably should have bought a subscription in YouTube because I was seeing instructionals
Yeah.
every day, every night.
I don't even
And
think they had that online stuff. But either
Yeah.
way, you need bodies
you
in order to
probably
train.
could you probably could see them. Like the original OG Gracie videos, you could probably catch them in YouTube.
I think they had like a Gracie University back in the day that
Yeah, yeah.
that you would have to learn it online.
Yeah.
And do like that. But that's
They were in YouTube at
Oh,
first.
they were?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
The
okay.
original Gracie family had instructionals in
But
YouTube.
back then, that's the only way you could learn
That was the only way, being in an island that only had like 2 or 3
places, dude.
places to go.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the only place, and it really helped me. I used to party a lot, and I engaged in some fights that probably would have kicked my ass
Yeah,
if I hadn't learned the
Yeah.
things that I learned.
That's good, man.
And I got to defend myself without actually hurting the other person too,
Which is great.
which was great.
Yeah. Because, dude, if you injure somebody now, it's like lawsuits and shit.
Yeah.
We had a friend that got a lawsuit for
Yeah.
fighting, bro.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, remember?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Our
yeah,
friend,
yeah.
sir.
That guy, that fucker.
That guy. He got a lawsuit for fucking fighting. He was a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah, no, I remember that. No, I think it's really important, and growing up, bringing a little one to this world. I mean, it's a fucked up world, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that her godfather can teach her how to do
I'm
jujitsu.
doing my best.
Oh
Or if not, I can send her to the right place.
no, for sure, man. But I mean, it's something that's going to be a foundation for her for discipline, for exercise, which I think are great things for kids, or great outlets for kids.
Yeah.
And eventually, if the wife hops in the bandwagon, I want her to do it too, because I want her to defend herself whenever
Yeah.
I'm not. Like right now, for example, we're going on this surf trip.
Right.
We're going to a place I've never gone in before in my life. And I
Yeah.
mean, no diss into Nicaragua. You guys are fucking great,
Yeah.
but there's people and there's people. But shit, my girl can get mugged in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that she could probably get mugged in Nicaragua. So
Yeah.
I want her to be able to defend herself. So I think there's a really important point in that, and it's that people should learn self-defense.
100%, dude.
I don't know how much karate is going to offer you or anything, or karate.
I think anything is good, but if you're really looking for something that's for smaller people to be able to defend themselves, I think it's
I think so.
You
I
gotta
think
do
so.
jiu-jitsu.
And yeah, I mean, no dissing on that sport. Any sport that's self-defense, I think it's great to learn.
yeah, anything that teaches you. But I think that if obviously I'm very biased, but if you're gonna do a sport, if you're gonna do a martial art that's meant on technique, using leverage, not using strength, because what if you get a bigger guy, dude? What if you? I mean, what do you got a bigger guy? What are you gonna do? You gotta have good technique. Gotta learn how to deal with that issue, and
I mean,
I think jiu-jitsu is the best way to do that.
yeah, I think so as well. I mean, the statistic that you always hear that probably was invented by someone who practices jiu-jitsu, but 99% of the fights end up in the floor.
That might be, but it's, I mean, if you see street fights, I don't know if it's 90, I think it's like 80 or something. That is what I heard. But the reality is that even if when you, let's say you watch boxing, right?
Yeah.
You watch boxing, and jiu-jitsu is a sport that's on the ground. It's a ground grappling, but it's also, you have to know how to get the person to the ground and all that stuff. So it's standing grappling. So if you watch a boxing match, how many times do those boxers tie up? Like hugging each other?
A bunch.
They have to get separated. So even trained strikers end up like clinched up. You know what I mean? So being able to manipulate the situation, maybe you don't want to take the person to the ground, dude. You know what I mean? Maybe in a street situation, you don't want to go to the ground. At least you know how to disengage. You know what I mean? And get the person away from you.
Yeah.
And that's important too. Maybe like learning jiu-jitsu for self-defense doesn't automatically mean, which is it's a misconception. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people that go like, oh, you know, jiu-jitsu, I don't want my daughter to learn jiu-jitsu. Like there's no reason for them to, I don't want her to have to, what she has to learn is to get away and not learn how to, you know, submit somebody. Yeah, they can learn submission stuff, but they also learn how to get away. You know what I mean? If somebody grabs them, they know how to disengage that. You know, they know how to deal with it, even if the guy's bigger. And that's the important part of like the self-defense aspect of jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah.
The main reason jiu-jitsu wasn't like, it was obviously it was built by the samurais, whatever, but like in the self-defense concept, it was meant to get away from disengage from somebody that's trying to hurt you. It's a self-defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's a very common misconception that I've heard a lot, is like, well, you know, jiu-jitsu on the street is, I don't want to be rolling around with people on the floor. I get that. I understand that. But it's not just, I'm going to armbar this motherfucker. It's like, this guy just grabbed me. I got to get these grips off me. You know what I mean? That's a very important part of it too.
Oh yeah. In all honesty, from all the martial arts that I've seen, it's my favorite one.
It's interesting. You know? It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Like I like other martial arts too. Like I like watching Muay Thai boxing also. I'm a huge fan of MMA, and I understand the importance of learning how to strike too. It's all very important stuff. But I think in self-defense aspect, you have to go jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Boxing's fun. Boxing's I might
it's
be biased being Puerto Rican.
Yeah, you definitely are. But
yeah,
it's died down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's died down a little bit. You know what I mean? I like the fights that we used to see when we were kids. Dude, they were great fights.
Yeah.
Like they used to shut down the island when a Puerto Rican boxer fought.
Oh fuck yeah.
Dude,
Tito Trinidad, that was like a fucking national holiday.
Dude, you would have school the next day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
You would have school the next day, and like the next Monday, because they would fight on Saturdays, or Miguel Cotto. They would close shit down. Nobody was going to school.
Yeah, man.
Those are great days. But now we don't, like, I don't think we have, I think Berlanga now is going to fight. I think it's called, his name is Berlanga. Berlanga is going to fight Cotto in September. I mean, not Cotto.
The Mexican.
Yeah. ¿Cómo se llama él?
Oh, gosh. He's a great
fighter. See, this is what I'm talking about, recall ball.
Yeah.
And he's an amazing fighter, and I can't remember his name.
Yep.
His name is,
gosh.
El Colorado.
El Colorado. I know you're Mexican. Sorry, man. Sorry, man. The Puerto Rican talked the shit out of him.
Oh, you saw? No, dude. He got his ass kicked in the shit talking. When they were talking, he got his ass kicked.
He got his ass kicked in the shit talking.
He got his ass kicked, and it was like, it was bad. But he's they're both really good boxers. I mean, what is this guy's name, dude? It's gonna drive me crazy.
That's gonna drive me crazy as well.
I want to look it up. I gotta look it up. His name is.
For it, man.
What's his name? I can't believe I have to look it up. Damn.
Starts with a C, I think.
Canelo.
Bro. Dímelo, Canelo.
Bro. See, that's my recall. It sucks. But yeah, like.
You gotta get that shit fixed.
How do you get? I go to a Toyota dealership and they just they replace the brain. Is that how it works? Yeah, like watching Cotto and all those people fight it, they would shut down the island. There'd be paraded. It was
De La
crazy.
Hoya. I remember the La Hoya days.
That's a huge. There's still controversy on that fight.
Yeah,
they're still saying, a lot of people still say that De La Hoya won that fight.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm biased. I really think he had one all the way.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man, like I miss those days too of boxing. You know what I mean?
It's a great fucking sport, man. I always thought, MMA, when it first started, it was the notion of, hey, you need to dominate at least two sports.
Yeah.
And I always thought, hey, fucking boxing and jiu-jitsu,
which isn't
great.
bad.
And then Muay Thai came, and then you get to use the knees and the feet. So then maybe Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu is a good mix.
Yeah.
Now they're their own fucking sport.
Dude, it's wild.
Yeah. And
it's been so quick. Again, it's when you watch old MMA fights, you kind of see the progression of the sport as they go. You know what I mean? Because you have like these people that would specialize in boxing and jiu-jitsu, or these people that were just wrestlers and would ground and pound you. And then it developed like, okay, everybody has striking, everybody has groundwork. And then the wrestlers started dominating for a long time. And they still do. Wrestlers still dominate now because if you're a good wrestler, you can dictate where the fight goes.
Did you see a Puerto Rican won something in wrestling and in the Olympics?
He won a medal?
I think bronze, man.
Yeah, the guy from Duke.
Yeah.
I think he teaches at Duke, or he's an assistant coach at Duke. I don't remember what his name is, but yeah, that guy.
I don't remember either, man.
Did he win?
Yeah, apparently he won bronze.
Fuck.
I think I might be mistaken, man. We might have to pull our phones on that one, but
I would have. I feel like I would have seen something in the Puerto Rican like Instagram realm.
There's a few peeps. There's a few peeps that won a few things, you know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't following so much. I was so stoked with the surfing.
Yeah, they got to keep
second time they're surfing in the Olympics, and it was
they got to keep that. That's a good one.
Fucking great.
That's a good one for us.
It's a great one for us. I feel it needs to evolve, kind of like basketball has evolved, kind of like rock climbing has evolved, where there's different versions of the sport.
Yeah.
So I saw a lot of great surfers in this one that, although they're great surfers, the conditions just weren't favorable for them.
Dude, which is wild, bro. They had to postpone it a couple times.
They had to postpone it a couple of times, but you know, we have great wave pools and wave pool technologies these days.
That's a good point.
They could bring the natural aspect of the sport and also have surfers surf in the wave pools.
Yeah, that's probably better.
You have two types. You have kind of like artificial surfing, and you have, you know, the natural surfing. And they're different because one is going to measure skill. The other one's going to measure your competence in the conditions that you're surfing and how you're able to manage those.
I think they got to standardize it. I think you did best by mentioning the wave pool. Like, and there's some really good wave pools. Like that's probably the best way. That's probably the way to go. But then they'd have to build that motherfucker.
Yeah.
But they spent $4 billion cleaning the river in France.
Great opportunity to build another wave pool.
Yeah. The question is, what are they going to do with that afterwards? They just open it up,
open it up and have people surf the fuck out of it.
Yeah, the next one's here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I saw.
Oh, but Los Angeles has good waves.
Yeah, man.
So that's gonna be good.
That's gonna be really good.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. But the wave pool's the way to go. If you can standardize the wave, you know what I mean, and then everybody has to surf the same wave, that makes it a lot easier. Because I think the problem with surfing in the Olympics is that those waves were like, there's different types of those waves. You know what I mean? Like, what if somebody got a huge wave and the other one didn't, and there was only one set that was good? You're screwed.
Which is what happened.
Yeah,
with a lot of great surfers.
It happened with the Peruvian guy.
Yeah, happened with the Peruvian guy. Happened with a couple of Brazilian guys. It was nuts.
No, they got to standardize that. They got to standardize
for sure.
But then that's like kind of like the same thing happens in jiu-jitsu. Like, there's different rule sets now, like different types of platforms that people compete in. So maybe one platform would be like natural conditions, like you were saying, and then the other one would be like wave pool conditions. And then that kind of happens the same thing with jiu-jitsu. Like, you have the gi, you have the no gi, you have the submission only, the point system. Like, that's the same thing that would happen. And since it's something that's, surfing's been around, competitive surfing's been around forever. But like bringing it to like the Olympics, it kind of gives more eyes to it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's good for any sport.
Times, yeah.
For any sport, it's gonna grow just like jiu-jitsu. Like, jiu-jitsu, it's a fairly young in terms of spectator. In the people that are starting to watch jiu-jitsu now, it's fairly young. It's fairly young. But I mean, I like that there's other types of platforms, other types of rule sets. I think it's great.
No, it's been really awesome.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I mean, for both, for surfing and for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. But yeah, kind of switching gears to roll signs. I'm excited
we went on a tangent.
Yeah, but it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Need to get that checked and recalled.
Yeah, I definitely got to do something about my memory. It's crazy.
No, I'm excited. Wanted to mention to you guys that are listening that we're going to be revamping the intro and the outro and a couple of things with the branding.
Yeah.
Starting on January 2025.
Okay. So, you're giving me the date too.
Yeah. So that's going to be cool stuff. Maybe changing up the music,
Yeah, we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something because I also think that, like, even though it's we're also gonna do like different types of segments.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. We're gonna do the interviews. I like the interviews because we get to know the others' perspectives in jiu-jitsu. But we're also gonna do with Stephen Openman sessions, and then we're probably gonna do like one or two segments, other types of segments, which we really haven't decided on yet. But we're gonna definitely revamp the way that we're doing things right now.
Yep. we want to start introducing a little bit of drop shipping as well, a
Oh
little bit
yeah, get
of
some products in.
get some products in, at least some shirts, some rash guards for the no gi folks.
Yeah,
That's going to be really important.
we gotta plan
Just
that.
gym wear.
Yeah, or
And
normal wear
I
too.
mean, you guys are going to be the best testers of it for
Yeah,
sure. I mean, we got the best audience
yeah, yeah,
for gym wear.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. Yeah, we definitely we're looking into who would be the best like producer. I don't know if that's the word. Manufacturers,
yeah,
because I don't want to put out anything that's stupid
exactly.
that looks like shit.
No, and also the way it performs.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
I
yeah,
and again, I know bull crap about jujitsu, but I do know that buying a rash guard in fucking Marshalls versus buying a rash guard at a
right.
legit surf store, it does make the difference out there, and it does make you surf for longer and actually evades from you having rash instead of
Right, dude. The rashes from
producing
surfing are
rash.
wild.
They're insane, man.
They're wild, bro.
They're insane. And having the correct equipment out there is super important.
Hmm.
So I feel that that's our goal to provide
Yeah,
the best equipment. So,
which is why
we
we've
might
taken our
get a
time with
rash
it.
guard or two in and test them out. And if they're not the right equipment, it's like next contender. That's
Yeah,
where it's
that's
at.
why we're taking our time with it. We're taking our
Yeah.
time with it because we also want to do that and make sure that it's the best quality that we can
Yeah.
do. Like I don't want neither of us wants to put out something that's terrible.
Yeah. It's more of a product testing phase, and it's a phase that takes a while because,
Yeah,
it
dude.
might be a great rash guard in the first 2 3 sessions or
Dude,
the
I
first 2 3 weeks, but then a month afterwards, that shit broke into pieces or the color starts to
that's a
fade and
big
stuff
one.
like that.
The fading.
But it's coming soon. It's gonna be really good stuff. We're focusing on it. And just trying to get an additional stream of revenue so we could keep the platform going
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
And
know
try to so that we can expand this. You know what I mean?
expand it, keep supporting local athletes,
Right.
international athletes. It's
Yeah, just make the platform so that we can help grow the sport in its best in the best way that we can. You know what I mean?
agreed.
That was the main goal of Roll Science when it started was just to build a platform to help grow people that are doing tournaments, people that have academies, people that are athletes and trying to, get exposure. And, the goal of Roll Science is just to be that platform and allow people to have a place that they can come and if they're passionate about what they do, we'll sit down and have a conversation. It's not a problem. And it's not just that, we want to help athletes. We're trying to figure out a good way to help athletes grow as well, not just by interviews. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all that's coming in the future. Right now, we're just trying to. The first 20 episodes was like us figuring out how to do this whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a lot more work than people think.
A lot more work, and we're still trying to figure out stuff. I mean, this is a fixed studio, but we want to be able to take it out to the world. And
Right.
if we have to go to an actual open mat session to do an open mat session
That'd
in
be
Roll
dope.
Science, that would be fucking amazing. So we're trying to get like traveling kids in order so
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can
yeah.
start doing, podcasts
At people's
like
schools and shit.
at people's schools and shit. So we can not only promote the athlete, but we can actually promote the school.
Right.
I feel that there's a lot of power in promoting the different schools, the different local schools. I know we've received huge amounts of support from the guys at Ground Game Theory, from the guys at Mortalis,
Yeah.
from many gyms. Those are the two gyms that I know because again, I know bull crap about jujitsu. So I need
No,
to,
like everybody's been really supportive,
yeah,
which is great.
it's been amazing. It's
Yeah.
been amazing. So, we want to be able to return the favor back and, getting exposure to those schools. It goes a long way both ways.
Yeah, man. And the good thing is that like we just started. Like we just started interviewing people. We just started doing this and it's gonna we've already met like a bunch of really nice fucking people, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody's super cool. Luckily, everybody's been super cool.
It's been amazing, man. I mean, and it's people that, we're inviting into our space and they've been A, super respectful, B, super resourceful,
Yeah.
and C, super insightful.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think it's been fucking amazing. Sorry, can I curse here or
dude, you produced this motherfucker.
it's been super amazing. Want to take the opportunity to thank everyone that's been
Oh
in
yeah,
it,
everybody that's been
and
on
again, behind the scenes, you probably
for
first time
now.
seeing my face, but
Yeah. And I
we want,
apologize for that in
but
advance.
but no, but we want to make more of this. We want to be able to make it more engaging, more
Yeah.
conversational. So there's a lot of things that are coming late 2024, early 2025.
Yeah,
So
probably early 2025 is when we'll probably have, because we still need some time to really plan things out
yeah,
the way that we want to do them. But it's been these couple months. I think we started in April.
yes,
Started in April. It's been a couple months that we've been
yeah,
doing it consistently, and it's definitely been a learning curve. But it's been great, man.
yeah.
It's been
And
great.
then excited for the Cabrinha folks from their Puerto Rico chapter.
Yeah,
And if this motivates other academies in Puerto Rico, I mean,
yeah, dude.
we're both Puerto Ricans, so we would be more than fucking
hundred
happy,
percent.
Patria Boricua, to
Yeah,
start getting those folks over here and
or
start
anywhere in Latin America, really too.
anywhere in Latin America. That would be amazing,
Yeah,
but just yeah, it's very cool stuff what's going on.
dude, it's been awesome. It's been
Yeah.
awesome. It's been awesome. And luckily, we've got good equipment. It's been working great. You know, everything you've upgraded the equipment pretty quickly after the first couple episodes.
Oh yeah, it had to
You're
be
like
done,
your
man.
frustration was like fucking on another level.
It's the ground game theory, folks, man. Their episode was insane, and it
Yeah.
was just a shame to not
Yeah.
have them, with a good platform, and it's I mean, I'm big on sports. We've been big on sports since
Yeah.
we were little,
Yeah.
I haven't been the best athlete, but I've
No.
sure like to be an athlete.
Dude,
So
you don't do bad. You got your sport.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
You know what it is.
oh yeah,
Everybody
And,
does, dude. Like there's just sports that I can't. I tried volleyball once. It's fucking terrible.
oh, it's horrible.
I was
man. It's
so bad.
horrible.
Are you agreeing that how horrible I was at it?
Yeah.
It was disastrous.
Yeah. Definitely a recall for that one.
Oh, dude, that was disastrous.
No, man, but it's really cool to see a platform for athletes come to life.
Yeah, and we're gonna
there are
do
other ones. There should be other ones out there. I just
other
think
ones.
this is the
Platforms?
best one platform for athletes.
Yeah,
I
there's
just think
definitely
this
other
is the
ones.
best one because I don't know.
Yeah,
crap
dude,
about
we've had Karina on. Karina has a platform
No,
for, and that was great.
Oh, that's amazing, and she was a great guest too.
Yeah, she's a great person too. Like that academy, Guardian Jiu-Jitsu, great bunch of people.
Her
bro.
and her husband do a great job down
Yeah,
there
bro.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's great.
They had a summer camp last weekend.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it was anti-bullying.
Oh,
Boom,
no
fucking
shit.
great idea. Yeah, I remember. I think it was 2 days. It was 8 hours, and it was broken down from 4 hours one day and 4 hours another day. Karina's brother is a professional boxer,
Oh,
so we had Karina's jiu-jitsu, her husband's wrestling background, and her brother's boxing, and they were teaching a course like for kids going back to school. That was a great fucking
that was
idea.
amazing.
Yeah, it's a great idea, and they're always doing stuff like that. I think it's great.
Those folks would be great to have them back.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
We gotta have both of them on.
Karina's, both of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them. At least Karina's was really insightful, and I spoke to her husband a little bit
Yeah.
after the
Darren.
episode. And yeah, Darren, a
Yeah.
great guy as well. So
Yeah.
those folks would be really nice to have them back. And I mean, I follow them. I know that
Yeah.
they do a great job with their gym.
Yeah, they do great. They're doing an amazing job.
Yeah. Jose from Fight Sports, I mean, that's one of my favorite episodes just because it touches on the mental health aspect as
Yeah.
well. That
Yeah.
was amazing just to see his journey with Charles Rosa.
It's crazy, dude, because
synthesized in an episode. It was great.
it's crazy because that episode, like the journey that he had, it like he went from Puerto Rico wilding out to like where he is now. And we've seen people do the same thing in Puerto Rico that end up on the other side of the tracks.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like I've ended up like with just fucking up their life.
Oh yeah.
And this guy just switched it with the martial arts, which I didn't know when the episode started that he had fought MMA.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
And he kicked ass too.
Yeah, he did pretty good.
Yeah.
He did pretty good. He doesn't look like the type of guy that's like a fighter. You know what I mean?
He looks like a fucking
He's chill. He's
skinny
fucking...
teddy bear. I swear
Which
to
sounds
God,
like a terrible teddy bear.
It sounds like a terrible teddy bear.
If I have a skinny teddy bear, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Feed that fucker.
Something inside of it's fucking terrible.
Recall that shit.
It's not doing its job. You fucking gonna keep with the recall, asshole? You gonna stick with that? Jesus. Yeah. So like, I think, yeah, it was weird. Not weird, but it was interesting. That he was like, yeah, I fought a couple. Like, what the fuck?
He's a really chill person, like really laid back. I don't know if I were to put a music genre in Jose, it would be reggae.
Yeah.
He's like a really chill person. So
Yeah.
and I've seen him roll in videos. I haven't seen him roll in real life.
Yeah.
But the way it's just a chill approach.
Yeah.
And he's just being playful. I mean, you can tell that from him being a black belt, if he's rolling with a blue belt, that he has 1,000 opportunities to catch him,
Yeah.
but he's just going for it and then letting it go and just keep on rolling.
That's the way to roll, catch and release.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's better because you hurt somebody. Because there's people out there that you'll roll with them, and if they get a submission, they're gonna fucking crank the shit. You're a training part. Let's say you're not in a competition. You're in training camp, right? You catch a submission, they'll just crank it until the other person just like they'll do it quickly. And there's ways to do it. You can catch and hold the position and just not hurt the person, right?
Yeah.
That comes with years of experience too, man. Like most people when they start off, they just want to get that tap.
Yeah.
But you got to create that culture in the gym that there's an ethic, there's certain etiquette when it comes to training with a training partner, and that has to be instilled pretty early on in the person, because they can get hurt and they can hurt somebody else.
100%. Yeah. I think that ego plays a huge game in there as well. Like you could go against someone that, I don't know, and this might be just me talking, but if
it is just you talking.
Yeah, it is just me talking.
You are just talking.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for reminding me of that. You know, if you're a black belt and you're rolling against a white belt, but the white belt has you on a submission, I feel like it's an ego thing where the white belt is like, hey, this is my opportunity to submit a black belt.
Right.
Versus, you know, hey, you might catch somebody, but catch and release is a game that you'll be able to prolong your training. And,
right.
You know, no one gets hurt.
You can't train jiu-jitsu by yourself. You need your training partners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need them there. So you gotta take care of them.
And if ego plays a role where, hey, I'm going to crack this submission and possibly hurt this guy.
Yeah.
This guy's a black belt. You could possibly learn a million things from him. But because you let your ego go in front of you, now you won't be able to train with him for 2-3 months because he got injured. So I think ego.
Wink, wink.
Yeah. Yeah. Wink, wink. Yeah. So I think ego plays a huge game in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, you just gotta take it easy. It's like it's a journey, man. You're gonna get if you're in the right place, you're gonna get murked a lot. Yeah, it's gonna happen. That's how you know you're in a good spot.
And again, it translates to surfing.
Yeah,
you know, my ego has gotten the better part of me, and I've gone in waves that are fucking way too big.
Yeah,
and you know you're in the middle of that shit, and it's like, hey, what the fuck do I do in this situation?
Drown.
I thought I could have done this shit, but how the fuck do I get out of this beach?
I want to leave.
You know,
I want to leave now.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it could be your best friend or your worst enemy.
Yeah, dude. But I think that jiu-jitsu is a good spot for calming your ego. A lot of people that can't get their ego under check, they just leave. They stop. Yeah, they stop. Either you learn how to deal with it, or they just stop. Yeah, and that happens a lot. But it's fine. I mean, some people just can't check the ego. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you do, you get better. If you don't, you're not going to get better.
Agreed.
It's just the way it is because you're going to quit either way. So, yeah, I think that, did we cover everything that we want to cover?
I think so.
We're going to be doing these recaps once in a while. Like, I think every 20 episodes, we'll just let people know what we're doing, what we're planning on doing, and recap any episode that we need to recap on.
Sweet.
But, yeah, I think we covered everything. What our future plans are. You know how it was to start these episodes, and every 20 episodes we'll throw another recap out there.
Fuck yeah.
And you're going to be participating more in the video.
That's okay.
In the episodes.
I like to be the guy behind the scenes. It is what it is.
Yeah, I bet, man. You get to you kind of wander off sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, you've done good, though.
Yeah, for sure.
You've done good.
No, it's going to be great. We'll do these once or twice.
Twice?
Yeah.
Twice?
Yeah.
You want to recall that, motherfucker?
I gotta recall that, bitch.